Hello everybody, Matt with Prism Supply here. Got a pretty cool update for you. Mark, the son of Tyree Smith, who built Dreamboat originally, is in Charlotte. Mark came to Charlotte with his cousin and they are here to visit, hang out with us, and to see Dreamboat running for the first time since he was a kid. I mean, the last time Mark saw this motorcycle running, it was over 40 years ago. I mean, that's when Ty parked it in Mark's mom's garage, was 40 years ago in Indianapolis. That was the late 70s. And, you know, if you haven't watched chapter 1 of the Dreamboat Saga or chapter 2, you should pause this and go watch that now, because you'll see the backstory of the motorcycle. You'll understand why it is so significant, and you'll get to see us start it up for the first time. What we thought was going to be a pretty strenuous, drawn out, potentially expensive journey getting the motorcycle running turned out not to be as much work as we thought. We did it in an evening, and Dreamboat runs. We can go in there and kick it over right now. It's a strong running engine. And so we called Mark, said, hey, Dreamboat is alive. You need to come down here, bring your cousin. His cousin, if you don't remember from chapter 1, his cousin was the president of the Rough Rider. I think it was the president of the Rough Riders motorcycle club in Indianapolis for years and years and years. So I think the Rough Riders is the longest standing African-American motorcycle club in that area. I might be completely off, but I think that's what Mark said. So nonetheless, amazing story, amazing people. So before Mark actually gets here, I want to show you guys something that's pretty cool. So as you know, Tyree was a part of the Mohawk delegation. The Mohawk delegation was, as far as we know, the first African-American motorcycle club in Indianapolis, maybe even Indiana. And if that's not cool enough, everyone in that crew, they had a fixture on the front fender of their motorcycle of an Indian head. Everybody in the Mohawk delegation had an Indian head just like this. So we all thought that the Indian head it's one of our favorite pieces on the motorcycle. We just think it's objectively cool, and the story behind it is amazing. So we actually tracked down a Mohawk delegation Indian head. We got a photo of Dreamboat. You'll see that it's a slightly different color on the actual face of the Indian head. We suspect that's just because the Indian head has been faded by the sun, and that's why it's discolored. But we double checked the manufacturer stamp on the back here, and we have confirmed that it's made by the same folks who made the Mohawk delegation's Indian, and we're gonna give that to Mark just as a token of our appreciation for entrusting us to be the custodians of this motorcycle, and for trusting us to get this thing running again so that Ty's story can live on. Okay. Mark and his cousin are officially here. So I'm going to walk over there and introduce you guys to Mark and his cousin.
Yeah, my dad was kind of the reason why Earl started riding.
Yeah, you wouldn't let me ride on it. Why'd you take me for a ride? I'm not taking you no place, little boy. Go play at your trucks. I'm gonna buy one soon as I get big enough.
What was your first bike?
Harley 165.
Yeah.
At 14 years old.
Yeah. They called that a
Hummer, is that what they
yeah,
call it?
Hummer. Yeah. So let me walk you around a little bit about. I'll give you a tour of what we do, and then show you guys the bike and get the bike running. And if you want to ride it.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
If you need your parts, you just make it, huh?
That's right. That's right. So that's what Rob's doing. He's manufacturing some parts over there. We try to manufacture as much as we can in house. This is kind of like the dirty side of the shop. We're making chips and welding and all that. Yeah, what are you working on, Rob?
Making those spacers for the quick start.
Harley, man.
Yeah. Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
Well, other than my younger brother, we went down to the Harley shop, and my brother put his sickle in the shop. And I said, I'm gonna get my sickle out of the shop. And he said, what's the name? I said, Cantrell. He said, well, you just put it in. I said, no, that was my brother that put his in. I don't get mine out. And then the owner come out and he knew all of us. He said, well, y'all got a younger brother too, don't you? He said, yeah, but he rides a Honda. We don't even speak to him.
That's Southside?
Southside.
That's on the bike we bought.
Yeah, and Matt and I went there.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got you guys a couple things. Mark, first of all, this is a photo that Matt shot, which I haven't shown these photos anywhere. So we printed that off, framed that for you. That's for you to take home with you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So put it in your basement, your man cave, your garage.
Yes.
We also wrote you a letter, and we all signed that. And then at the bottom of the letter, we talk about something special. We all sourced this together. This is the same exact Indian head that's on your dad's bike.
No shit. Wow.
So that's for you to take home.
Where did this come from?
So, kind of a crazy story. I was at a swap meet and I saw it there. And the guy was like, I don't want to sell it. I'm not selling it. And I got his phone number. And then eventually he was like, I'll sell you that. So.
And we compared on the back, it says who manufactured it, and we looked it up, and it's the same manufacturer as the one on your dad's bike, so it's identical.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the one on your dad's bike probably looked just like that at one.
Yeah, weathered. Yeah. That's cool. Oh man, I appreciate something like that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that was one of those things we saw and we were like, man, Mark, I appreciate this. So.
And you finally at a swap meet, you said?
Yeah.
Just sitting on these tables.
He had it in a glass case, and I was like, look, I had the bike there with me because I was showing that bike.
Really?
It was the day I texted you and I had both
Yeah, I
bikes.
saw both of them on the trail.
Yeah. And eventually he was like, I told him what I was going to do with it, but that I wanted to give that to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'll do that.
Wow. That's something I'll pass that on down to my grandkids. They'll never leave my family. That's for sure.
When's the last time you think you heard this motorcycle run before today?
40 years ago when I drove it in my mom's garage, I rode it in there, covered it up, and I haven't been ridden since.
It was pretty wild starting for the first time.
Yeah, my first year teaching, I retired last June. It was 40 years, and my dad passed away before he could see me coach or teach. But that same year when I rode it in there. Had all intentions of riding it every once in a while, but then we couldn't find a title, and I just something about it. Something happened to that bike, you know.
It still runs pretty good. It smokes a little bit, but I mean, it runs solid.
Yeah. I used to draw quite a crowd with that bike back in the day.
Oh, it'll still draw a crowd today too. I don't think that's changed.
Yeah, so he got that when I was about 4, so I remember he's just always had it, and he had it for a couple of weeks and tore it down and chromed it. So it's always pretty much looked like that. It's just always been in my family. Yeah, it's funny how they can have one motorcycle and have that big of an impact on community, the family, First Black Club in Indianapolis. Brought our family members in and decided to get into the whole biker thing, and they're still into the biker thing 50, 60 years ago, later, I mean. Yeah, she told me after he passed away about a week, she said, would you guys come get that bike right now? And a lot of people knew that he kept it in the shed in the back of the house, unlocked. He had a German Shepherd that watched it, but she like, come get it. So my brother took me over there, and then I fired it up and I rode out to my mom's house, and that's where it was for 40 years after that.
Cool bike.
No doubt.
You wanna ride it?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if she'll show off for us. So, I don't know what the process real quick, Mark.
Yeah.
Alright, so, not that you need to know this when you show me. So this is your fuel on off. There's supposed to be like an O-ring that holds everything up, so I've just been kind of flipping it here instead of now the fuel's on. Like I said, we bypassed some of the electrical just to get it running. So there's a switch under the seat here. Oh yeah. And then
You got rid of that little clamp from my dad.
Yeah, yeah. No, that red clamp he had.
oh,
Do you
yeah,
remember?
Yeah. That one had to go. All right, so we bypassed that, and then this is obviously the timing, so we part of that. Start it. Get the choke. Got all that working. And then get it over.
Go all the way down to the shoulder and have that one.
Yeah, I can choke it like halfway.
lights are on.
This light, and then the Indian head.
What do you think?
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, 40 years since I heard it run. And rode it. That is something after all those years. Never thought I'd see that thing running again. And I could just get over when I was young and he would come out on that thing. And I mean, all that chrome was just shining on it. It was so beautiful. Prettiest thing you ever seen. Now, if he takes the left up there, look out. He's
Yeah.
gone.
You might ride all the way back How was it, Mark?
Very emotional, man.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
I bet it was. Runs pretty good though, huh?
It does. I think that's good.
Yeah,
It's got a little shake to it, but
yeah.
other than that, I mean, engine and ship's fine. For you there.
Thank you, I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it. Hey, man, riding that thing cross country, man. Wow.
It still smokes like all the dirt because we didn't want to clean any of that off.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Yeah, man, it would be my dad, and then my brother back here, and then me in the front, the three of us with no helmets. Riding all the time.
Oh, just in case.
Just in case.
I hadn't noticed that. Yeah, you never know.
If I'd have sold it to somebody else, I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity.
Yeah. That was our hope, man.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. No, seriously, thank you. I mean that.
That was cool seeing you ride that, Mark. That was cool.
How'd it feel?
So it was, it's hard to explain to somebody how much a motorcycle means to somebody
Yeah.
unless you live that life. You know,
Yeah.
my wife took her a while to understand.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, it's just a motorcycle, you know? Or I said, no, it's not. I said, that's my life. I wish my brother was here to share with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my mom. So he's the best I could do right there. On short notice.
How about it starting first kick?
Wait a minute, that's a bishop. Who's he talking about me?
How
That was something, man.
starting first kick?
Wow. You never started first kick with my dad had.
I'm glad you found this.
I know.
Very glad you found this.
Hey, it was meant to be, man. It was
Yeah.
meant to be like you guys finding that Indian head. I think it was meant to be for me to find you
Yeah,
guys.
I know.
Like I said, I never would have had this opportunity like today had I just sold
I
it
know.
to somebody else.
I know.
Yeah, watching you ride that thing's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Man.
Yeah, I told my wife, I said, yeah, they want me to come out and ride. She said, well, you gotta go. Oh, you gotta be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want some pizza? Earl, you're the picky one.
No, I'm a pizza man. I get some pizza.
Oh, good.
And
Good.
like I said, I'm so picky. I did not eat pizza until I was 25 years old.
Really?
What?
Never tasted one. It just didn't look right.
What kind of pizza you want?
I'm sausage and pepperoni, really.
Cool.
Does your life change at 25?
Yeah, just change that. Yeah, let it go.
Well, let's go sit in the AC or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark and Earl just left the shop. We got so wrapped up saying our goodbyes that we didn't even capture any of that. So sorry to miss out on that. We also spent some time with Mark and Earl in this warehouse. You also see Dreamboat right here. So what we're doing is we're gonna capture Dreamboat and we're gonna try to tell the story of this motorcycle and Tyree Smith. So can't wait to show the footage to you guys. Can't wait to show you guys the photos. There was a lot of emotion. Mark riding this motorcycle for the first time in 40 years. It was pretty special for Earl to be there. You know, Earl was a big part of Tyree's life, big part of Mark's life, big part of the Indianapolis motorcycle community. Earl was the president of the Rough Riders for 30 years. These are two really incredible guys. We loved spending the day with them. They have stories for days and days and days. They're both funny, especially Earl.
Oh, we're rolling.
All right, tell us about your buddy Mark.
We're down in Kentucky.
Okay.
Derby Day.
Yeah.
Now, Derby Day in Kentucky is Screaming Eagles Day. Motorcycles everywhere, far as you can see, nothing but motorcycles. So I've got my brand
Like
new,
a Sturgis type event.
Right.
Okay.
I've got my brand new 1974 Super Glide.
Nice.
So I got it parked over there and I've got it locked up and everything. Ain't nobody gonna bother my bike. My cousin comes up and says, "Cuz, what? Could I ride your bike?" I Yeah, man. Go
This
ahead.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Go ahead. He goes over there.
Brand
new. Sets it up. Fires it up. I've got these straights on it. Everybody turns around. What the? Look at that thing. He takes off and forgot to take the lock off. Bam! Down he went.
Embarrassing.
So we were going. Where were we going on that trip? Denver or somewhere. Anyway, his mother, which is my first cousin. Now you take care of my baby and make sure he gets his milk every night. Okay.
How old is he? How old are you guys at the time?
Oh, you was a grown man. Was you out of college?
Probably 35.
Yeah. With this little baby. So I said, okay, I'll see till he gets his milk every night. So we're riding and we park that night and we get loaded. So I called his mother and say, Ann, she said, yeah, you told me to make sure your baby gets his milk every night. I said, yeah. Okay, he's passed out face down. Where do I dump it?